I struggle with depression, anxiety, and fear, worry, and stress for so long, many years ago. And I realized that my life has been a quest to get better myself and to help others get better in the process. Since that time, I've written 27 books focusing on optimism, belief, positivity, excellence, purpose, relationships, connection, communication, caring, and really strategies to take your life, your work, and your team to the next level. But this summer, I received some incredible ideas that just literally came to me. And what I realized was that everything comes down to oneness and separateness. This is the one truth that I actually wrote about in my new book that comes out in June, that everything in life can be explained in terms of oneness and separateness. A team that is one, that is connected, is powerful. They are strong. They're united. A team that is disconnected, that is divided, is weak and powerless, and they don't perform very well. It's the same with us. A person that is connected is one, feels powerful. They feel joy. They feel peace. They feel love. They feel power. A person that feels divided or disconnected, they feel powerless. They feel fear, insecurity, worry, and doubt. And so this one truth, this oneness and separateness really explains in so many ways how we feel, how we act, and ultimately our state of mind. When we feel one, we have a high state of mind. When we feel separate, we have a low state of mind. And then what I realized was that as we move from oneness to separateness, we move from positive to negative. Think about mental health and people with mental health challenges. They often feel disconnected, isolated, alone. And so they separate themselves from others and they feel alone and isolated. The more we move towards oneness and connection with people, we feel healthy, we feel whole. Research from relationship psychology shows that people heal in a loving relationship. When there's a feeling of love and oneness, you feel more connected and you feel more healthy. And so as we move from oneness to separateness, we move from positive to negative. We move from healthy to dysfunction. So oneness and separateness really ultimately can explain in a lot of ways relationships and also mental health. I also realized as I was thinking about the one truth and oneness and separateness that the brain is literally an antenna. This came to me on a walk. Like I heard the brain is an antenna. I'm like, what? And I started thinking about this. And you know what? The brain really is an antenna. You have 86 billion neurons in your brain. They all contain a transmitter and receiver. All these neurons, little antennas in your brain. Think about how we perceive and see the world. We see the world in terms of this energetic reality. We have wavelengths and vibrations and frequencies. And the way we see and hear is electrical impulses are translated into signals that the brain then processes and is actually able to interpret. And then we experience this reality. The brain is an antenna. And there are two main frequencies that we actually can tune into. We can tune into a positive frequency or a negative frequency. The more we tune into the negative frequency or negative thoughts, that separates us, that divides us, that weakens us. Think about fear dividing. Think about negative thoughts and how they create doubt and discouragement, and they make us feel weak. Think about positive thoughts, how they give us strength, how they encourage us, how they unite us, how they give us a sense of power. So this antenna that we have, you're either tuning into a positive frequency or a negative frequency. The negative frequency separates and divides, and the positive frequency unites and creates oneness, makes you feel whole. So we can tune into this positive frequency on a daily basis. I realize now that all my work, all the books I've written over the years, what I was helping people do was to tune into this positive frequency instead of the negative frequency. So I want to share with you an acronym. I want to share with you how you can tune into a positive frequency right here, right now. It's also in the One Truth coming out in June, but I'm going to share with you a tip, a practical way to implement this right now. And it begins with T.U.N.E, which is T, trust and truth. It starts with trust and truth. When doubt comes in, I'm going to trust. Anytime I start to feel anxious, I always remind myself, just trust. And I'll say a little prayer. I trust in you, God. I don't have all the answers, but I'm going to trust. And then speak truth to the lies that are coming in. Negative thoughts are lies that will tell you things about yourself and your future that just aren't true. Don't believe the lies. Instead, what you want to do is speak truth to the lies. I love the advice from Dr. James Gills, my favorite piece of advice I've ever heard. He said, John, a lot of people, when they run marathons, because he's a triathlon. This guy is the only person on the planet to complete 6 double Ironman triathlons. Only person. And he's done it 6 times. The last time he did, he was 59 years old. He was asked how he did it. He told people, he tells me, don't listen to yourself. Talk to yourself. Don't listen to the negative thoughts. Don't listen to those negative voices. Instead, speak truth. Speak words of encouragement to those lies. And the more you do, you walk in that truth. You walk in that encouragement and you walk in that power. See, negative thoughts are lies that affect you, that separate you, that divide you. And the more you can actually speak truth and words of encouragement, you're able to move forward with that power, with that strength. So trust and truth. And that gives you power. What's truth about you? Here's what I know about you. You are stronger than you think. You are more courageous than you know. You're not here to be average. Here's what I know. There is greatness inside of you. Yes, greatness inside of you. Why is there greatness inside of you? Because God put that within your soul, within your DNA. The reason why you want to do great things is because there is greatness within you and you know you're here to do something great. I've never had anyone say, I want to be average. Everyone says, I want to be great. Because deep down, there's greatness within you. And that is truth. We just have these voices that say, we're not great. We're not enough. We're not smart enough. We're not pretty enough. We're not successful enough. We'll never get there. The future is hopeless. And these negative thoughts are always coming in. They try to tune us into the negative frequency. That's why we have to tune into the positive frequency of trust and truth. That brings us to U, which is unite with love. And I'll get to that in a second. Then there's N, which is neutralize the negativity. So when negativity comes in, you want to make sure that you neutralize it. Gandhi said, I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet, and neither should you. We're not going to allow any negative thoughts to walk through our mind and affect us and sabotage us. When those negative thoughts come in, stop. Literally say stop. And then you start speaking truth to those lies. I remember telling my dad, I want to be a writer and speaker. I found my calling. His response, what the heck you want to do that for? That's a load of junk. That won't amount to anything. My dad had the gift of discouragement. Well, several years later, I got on the Today Show. The show was called Get Energized Today. Went up there, coached several people on enhancing their energy and their optimism for their work. I made a difference. I walked out of the studio. There's my dad. He called me up. He's like, your mother, I just saw you on TV. You really made a difference. We're so proud of you. We always knew you could do it. He didn't remember being negative. I learned a valuable lesson. Not everyone will see what you see. Not everyone will share your vision, your optimism, or your belief. But you got to neutralize the negativity. Your positive energy has to be greater than their negativity. Your certainty, your belief, and your faith needs to be greater than all the doubt coming your way. Don't allow the negativity to bring you down. You decide, I'm going to lift others up. Even when I first started speaking, my dad was like, I can't believe people actually pay you to speak. When you were a kid, we paid you to shut up. This was his mindset. I've had a lot to overcome. He was a New York City police officer, undercover narcotics. He was shot a few times. He wasn't very big on positivity. He was a loving man, but one of the most negative guys on the planet. He taught me how to overcome negativity and neutralize it. This brings us to the E. We have to elevate our thinking. How do we do that? Gratitude is a great way to elevate our thinking. When you appreciate, you elevate. You elevate your mood. your performance, you elevate the people around you, you elevate your state of mind, and you elevate your antenna. You literally, with gratitude, are tuning into a very high frequency when you do that. And that literally lifts your state of mind, your frequency, and what you're tuning into. And that's why the more we're grateful, the more we get things to be grateful about. You become a gratitude magnet. And I'm convinced abundance flows into your life when gratitude flows out of your heart. So gratitude is a powerful way to elevate your state of mind. Also, optimism and belief is key. I saw this at home. I saw the power of belief just recently with my wife, just a few months ago. Catherine, who's speaking on the summit, she was not doing so well. She was complaining that she was getting older, that her body was breaking down, that she was feeling tired and sore. And she said, you know what? I'll never feel like this again. I'll never be young again. It's like, this is going to be how it's going to be for the future. I'm like, where is this thinking coming from? She was tuning into a negative frequency. So I go away to a speaking engagement. I come back after about 2 days, and there she is, bouncing around the house. She's all energized. She's feeling good. She's light and free. I'm like, okay, where did that other person go? Like, what's going on here? Like, did you find a boyfriend or something? Like, what's happening? She's like, no. I've been doing that health coaching, and they did testing on me. And I was talking to the health coach, and they said, this is something very rare. We don't see this often in a lot of people. You have the genes of an Olympic athlete, is what they told her. So now she's walking around the house. I, an Olympic athlete. An Olympic athlete. Jon, you want to play tennis tomorrow? Because I'm an Olympic athlete. I will crush you. She's literally saying, an Olympic athlete. I kid you not. The soreness goes away. The pain goes away. She's no longer complaining. She's now working out harder than ever because she is an Olympic athlete. It's so funny because for years she struggled, as she'll share in her talk, growing up in a dysfunctional family. And she would always say, if I had parents that were involved in my life, I could have been an Olympic athlete. And I always say, yeah, whatever. Okay. I'm the one who was a Division I athlete, but now she might be right. Like she could have been. You might see Jon Gordon in the 2024 Olympics. That's how focused she is now. Her mindset changed. Her belief changed. She now is elevating her state of mind on a daily basis with these words. I am an Olympic athlete. What would happen if you change the words that you say to yourself on a daily basis? I am strong. I am powerful. I am here to take on these challenges. I am more powerful than my circumstances. I am here to pursue greatness. I am here to do something amazing. I was born for something meaningful, for something great. I am ready to take on this world. I am successful. I am competent in this new job that I'm taking on. I am healthy. I am happy. People often talk about affirmations. This is like power. This is elevating your mindset, your thinking. This is why it works. What you're tuning into every day, what we think about, we become. I am. Start saying that on a daily basis. Start speaking life to yourself. The word encourage means to put courage into. So when you're encouraging yourself, you're putting courage into yourself. When you encourage others, you're putting courage into them. Start elevating your thinking that way with optimism, belief, encouragement, gratitude. T.U.N.E. I told you about the U. That's how it'll end. U, T-U-N-E. U is unite with love. And this is so important because fear divides, but love is what unites. And so many of us are going through life feeling fearful about life, about the finances, about our job, about our career, about our kids, whatever it may be. Guess what? The answer is to bring love to it. Because if you love it, you won't fear it. Love is what casts out fear, and love is the highest frequency that you can tap into. And so when you tap into this frequency of love, the most powerful force in the universe, that love starts to move through you. You start living from that loving nature, that love that you have in the moment, casts out the fear and it dissipates. And now you're able to take on this world with so much more power. So focus on loving it and you won't fear it. I tell this to athletes all the time who are struggling with fear and they're worried about the outcome, worried about the results, worried about not performing well, I say just focus on loving it. You love the moment and you love the competition and you love the battle and you love the process. You will love what it produces. You'll love all of it and what it all produces. I think about Pavarotti, the famous opera singer. He said, everybody wants the audience to love them. He said, but I love the audience. He loves the audience. Why? Because he feels one with the audience. And in loving them, that creates a connection that returns and really emphasizes that oneness, makes it feel even more powerful, more connected. And from that oneness, that love flows. The audience feels it, and then they love him back. You can do the same thing with sales, same thing with your friendships, same thing with your family, same thing with your team. The more you love them and become a source of love, since everybody is looking for love, they will now be looking for you, and they will be drawn to you. So you'll create more connection, more oneness, more wholeness with that love. T.U.N.E, trust and truth. U, unite with love. N, neutralize the negativity. E, elevate your thinking. Tune into the positive. Become more one. Live the one truth. Feel more whole, and you'll live with power, because you're not meant to go through life fearful, living with insecurity and doubt and worry and anxiety. We're not meant to live this way. We are meant to live with joy, with peace, with purpose, and with power. I truly believe we've gotten so used to living in this negative way, with this fearful way, it's become normal. Well, guess what? It's not normal. You know what's normal? Living from a place of love and power. And that is what I want for you.